Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is Thursday, June 19th, 2025, and you may have noticed a new button in your app, and we'll talk about that. And our mysterious whale, the ODM wallet, strikes again, and we'll talk about that as well. But first, the metrics. The circulating supply is 7.45 billion pi, and there were 21,116 migrated user accounts yesterday, totaling 7.1 million pi. There is 48.3 million pi in the Pi migration wallet. The migrated unlocked rewards is at 2.24 billion pi, with 9 million pi unlocked in the last 24 hours and now free to be traded on the open markets. Looking at the price action, the Pi coin is currently trading at 53 cents, which is up 1.6% from this time yesterday. The market cap is at an even $4 billion, which is up 1.7%. The daily trading volume is at $77.7 million, which is down 17%. We're getting into that scary window here for volume where trading can get tricky and things can move fast and hard. If Bullish Babe is right, then maybe we're in for some positive action. We'll have to see. But if you look at the candles here, we've been trading relatively sideways for a while now, but you'll see that we've got some periods of significant activity, but then they kind of cancel each other out as time passes, and the overall effect is a sideways price movement. But like I said, you don't know what's going to happen. It's very strange right now. Cryptos across the board are acting weird. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. And we're just going to have to ride this one out. So our infamous Pi whale is at it again with another $2 million transfer from the exchanges to the mysterious ODM wallet. And I call it ODM because that's the last three digits of the wallet address. Nobody knows whose wallet this is. There was speculation early on that this was a Pi core team wallet and they were buying back Pi to try to control the price, which I never really believed. I didn't see any reason why they would do that. But we still don't know who this is and what they're doing. But they now have 290 million Pi sitting in this wallet, and it's only been input so far. Nothing has gone out. So we got to be careful, right? If this guy, whoever this is, decides at one point to sell as soon as we get a decent price bump, that's going to cause problems. I can tell you that right now. So this headline says Pi Network whale accumulates 290 million Pi coins. In one large twist in the Pi Network universe, one of the major investors has brought about 290 million Pi coins within 3 months in the history of the project. This hoarding, which is worth approximately $150 million, has grabbed a lot of attention within the Pi community and market analysts. And I don't know if you can see it here, but that's the ODM wallet right there. And you can see the balance is 293 million to be exact. First transaction took place on March 6th, while the latest transaction of 2 million Pi was completed by the whale 22 hours ago. One of the huge acquisitions of the 3 months. Now, most of his transactions have been increments of like 2,000, and the ones that haven't have been multiples of 2 million. So I don't really know what that situation is, but maybe he just likes round numbers. The activity of this whale has been tracked closely, and it is reported that these tokens have taken place mainly in centralized exchanges. And the grammar on this article is terrible. They've been sliding lately. I don't know if it's the same person writing these articles, but I did one yesterday that it read like stereo instructions and didn't make a lot of sense. This spike in accumulation in tandem with the increased volatility in the market, especially in the meme coin space, which has been going on big rallies recently. I don't know why they mentioned meme coin here. Pi coin is not a meme coin, but okay, it's not really a fair comparison. The choice of timing of the movements has caused speculation that the whale is preparing itself in the anticipation of a possible listing at large exchanges such as Binance. Yeah, everything is a sign that we're about to list on Binance. My dog wouldn't eat his food this morning. Oh, we must be listing on Binance. The Pi network community is still divided on what it will entail on this accumulation. On the one hand, it can be treated as a good indicator of institutional interest and confidence in the future of the project, and on the other, as the concentration of holdings with its possible effects on the stability of the market. Yeah. Look at that. I mean, do you need any better indication of what the Pi coin's been doing? Wow. When you look at it from that time scale, it looks kind of sad, but at the end of the day, we have Pi coin that we paid nothing for that's now worth 53 cents. And I think it's going to ultimately be higher. But, you know, think about Bitcoin in the early days. You know, when one Bitcoin was 7 cents. Hell, I would have bought 1 million at that price now. As of now, Pi coin is trading at the value 54 cents with trading volume of over 100 million. It shows you how old this article is. 24 hours, a lot changes. The market cap of Pi is $4 billion, while a substantial amount is still locked up. The circulating supply is yet to be 7.5 billion, while total supply is 100 billion, indicating that actual investor wave is yet to come. Okay, now they're going to talk about how bad the Pi coin is done, 68%. Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah, that's all I'm going to read about that. So, yeah, the whale's at it again. Who knows who this guy is, what they're up to, and what that's going to mean for the value of Pi in the near future. So, in the app yesterday, a user in the comments had pointed out that a new sync button had shown up on their KYC page, and I hadn't seen it yet. I went in earlier, but then I went back in later. Not even half an hour later, and sure enough, there it was. And the message that you'll see is it says synchronize status on mining app. And nobody knows what that means. And there's a lot of speculation, as there always is. And then another person pointed out that if you're on your mainnet checklist page, you don't see the wording that says synchronize status on mining app, but what you see is your typical refresh icon on the mainnet checklist. And I reached out to the Pi moderators to ask if they knew anything about what this was. And they had not received any word yet from the core team. And so I asked another moderator friend of mine who later told me that what this is a means to synchronize the state of the app with the servers. What's been happening is the app has been showing information that is inconsistent with the view of the user's account on the server. And they added this feature to once a day allow you to synchronize your status with the server. Now, some people noticed that if they had KYC countdowns running and they hit this button, the countdown timer would either increase or decrease accordingly. And that was due to reconciling the app's coasting timer with the server. And it's also on the KYC page. And what it does is it synchronizes your KYC status with what the server thinks your KYC status is, just like it does for your mainnet checklist options and your KYC countdown. Some people, after hitting that sync button, had their tentative KYC status suddenly switch to approved. I mean, that's a happy coincidence, right? It's not a coincidence. The server thought they were approved and not tentative at all. The app just thought otherwise, and that resolved it. Me, I'm still tentative, so no joy here. Well, that's all I've got for today. If anything breaks, I'll be sure to hop on here and let you know. But until then, don't panic, Stay the course, and remember, the success of the Pi Network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.